Today we're going to be unboxing this Chisato from Lycoris Recoil. This is an interesting figure because it's the first scale figure of Lycoris Recoil that I have purchased. It's not the only one though. We also have this Takina here, which will have her own separate video, so stay tuned for that. But this one is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Chisato is my favorite. I know Takina fans don't call me out. But I really like this one. I have been excited about this figure for quite a while because it's kind of like their Hawaii dress type thing. So I am looking forward to it. This is a 7th scale figure. You can purchase it at Ami for sure. I believe it's also available at Entertainment Earth, which we'll have a link down in the description. There are also other sites you can get it from, but those are the two that I would recommend the most if you're interested in picking this figure up. But let's see how good it actually is, because maybe you don't want to, or maybe you need to do it right now before it all sells out, because maybe this is the best figure of the year. Let's find out. So yeah, I could have went with like her, like the uniform version of her, or the many different versions that they will make over the years of her scale figure. Now, I like those, but I also like the idea of them making a Hawaii version, which is like the very end of Lycoris Recoil, season 1 at least, which I really like. I like that ending to it. I think it's really fun. So I decided that would be the one that I really wanted to pick up. So pulling it out of the box here, it is quite a big box. Normally, a little 7th scale figure will not be this big, but this one is pretty big, mostly because her skirt is really flowy and everything. But we got to cut the tape on this. Okay, so pulling that off there, let's look at the base first. Now, I do think this is a really cool looking base here that we do get. If you remember, if you watched the Asuna from Sword Art Online video, you will know that that one was supposed to look like fabric, and it didn't look like fabric at all. So I'm glad that other figure companies have taken the liberty to at least try. Now, pulling the figure out here, it is in one really big piece, which is good. I know some people would prefer if it was in a smaller box and was just in a bunch of pieces, but I'm personally fine with this. Now, I do like this pose. I think the pose is really nice here. This first impression out of the box. But yeah, let's go ahead and put her on the base, and then we'll look at it some more. One more thing on the base before I do put it on there, you want to point out that there is a massive peg that will go really far up into her leg. That's pretty good because she's only standing on one leg. She's not standing on both of them. So it kind of makes sure it's a little bit more secure. Okay, so first impressions here. I really like this figure. This figure is really nice in a lot of different ways. The first thing that I point out here is the detail on the dress here. I think these little patterns here of the flowers and everything looks very pretty. Sometimes that when they print on details like that, they can get kind of blurry. These are really crisp, really highly detailed. Like that a lot. Some other things that I wanted to point out along the little hula necklace thing here, that looks really nice, as well as the little flowers bracelet things on her wrist here look really nice. Her hair also is not just put up very, plain. It's kind of flowing, which I like. It adds to the figure, and this whole kind of flowy movement looks really nice. Now, one thing I will point out, just because it's one of the things that I noticed, and if you put this on a certain shelf, then it may become a small issue if that's something that you worry about. This figure, the way she's holding her dress here up in the air, if you have this on a high shelf and you have it like this, you are absolutely going to be flashing her at all times. Yes, it's not exactly like, there is some like cloth here that kind of doesn't make it super visible, but it's definitely there. Like whenever I was trying to put her on the base, it was very visible, and it's not like, okay, you could have easily avoided this by just giving her a bikini bottom. They didn't. It's just white underwear. So there you go. That's something to be aware of. Maybe don't put this on a high shelf if you live with people that might be coming around this very often, or do. I'm not telling you what to do. Something else that I will point out here is that this figure is, she is on basically only 2 pegs and they're in line. She does kind of rock. Now the whole table's rocking, so I'm going to try to just rock the figure. Yeah. Maybe, I know I said don't put it on a high shelf. Maybe you should put it on a high shelf and make sure it's steady on that shelf, because if this is on a low shelf, maybe a younger kid or a pet knocks it off, I have a feeling it will break because that long peg goes way up into her ankle. So it will probably break right at that ankle if it was having to go through a lot of stress there. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, but it is something that happens. Whether you have to move, whether it falls off a shelf, whatever, it can happen. So I'm just pointing out, not exactly the sturdiest figure. Overall, though, I think it's pretty good. I don't really have any major complaints with it, other than maybe the rocking just a little bit, but that's not a huge issue. I just think it is something to be aware of. I think the thing with the dress, that's nitpicking. I'm not going to criticize it because you can see her underwear. Some people might see that as a plus, but I think it's just something to be aware of. Same thing with the rocking. That I'm more critical on, but the whole other thing, no. I think there's more plus sides to this than there is cons. The detail in all of the accessories around her hair and her ribbon and everything like that looks really nice. I think that is really well done. Now, obviously, this is a pair, so I am going to be critical on how they pair up. How will they look together? We'll have to find out because this will be another video, so stay tuned for that. But I think as a whole for Chisato here, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it is one of the better scale figures that we have gotten from them. I don't think it's maybe not the best. There's one of them in their uniform that I think is really nice. We're also getting a freeing figure of both of these characters this year. Maybe those freeing figures will be really good. They are in the bunny outfit, so that's another thing. If you're pro-bunny, anti-bunny, well, that's a big influence on how much you like it. But I think this is a solid figure. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. Few nitpicks, and then the thing with that kind of just makes me hesitant on where you would put it in your collection. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. The Talking Nut video will be out in a few, maybe 1 week to 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that, depending on how the schedule works out, but it is coming very soon, so don't forget to subscribe for that. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.